you, Mr. Mayor.
I'd like to welcome everyone to the Tuesday, April 8th, 2025 council meeting. Just to let you know, this meeting is live streamed, so we're out there in the public. We'll start with disclosure of pecuniary interest. Shelley. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll move on to public input on the draft 2025 budget. If anyone wants to comment, floor is open. Okay, we'll move on to committee reports. Councillor Foot.
None for me.
Thank you. Councillor Chalabi.
None for me.
Thank you. Councillor Scott.
I was able to attend on March 20th, the veterinary clinic or the veterinary fund that we contribute to.
Yeah.
Two or three things. The vet rates for the clinic haven't been raised in 25 years. And it's Ministry of Northern Development hold the hammer on that. So every time we get a chance, we should maybe mention it to our local MPPs that we should start to move this up a wee bit. And basically, we hire 2 vets to do our bidding, and it costs us $1,000 as a group. And in return, we get about $80,000 worth of money. So for every 1,000 we put in as a committee, they get $40,000 to go help the local farmers. So we're both our vets are unable to use all the money because the rates are so low. So we're hoping we could get that done. And as a group, we decided that we'd use $3,000 of our budget for scholarships. So if the vets are having new vets in and they want them to do smaller vet things, I don't want to say something and say it wrong. So there's a couple training courses or day courses for them. And we agreed that between the 2 veterinary clinics, we agreed that they could use up to $3,000
For upgrading.
their vet clinics.
Yeah.
And it'll only help like load on the main vets. So that's it. And financially, they're very sound, this group.
Our portion for that annually is $400.
Yes. So
So it's a very good investment.
it's a huge investment for like I said, it costs $1,000 to hire the vet or hire the Northern Development, and they give us $40,000 each. So,
Good return.
and they do roughly about 300 kilometers a day.
Wow. Good returns on your investment there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Thank you, Councillor Scott. Councillor Kirk.
No, I have nothing. I have source water tomorrow and the library on the 23rd instead of Easter Monday.
Yeah.
So I'll have that for you next time around.
Okay. I don't have anything. I did the Pines at our last meeting. We did go to the fire conference in Huntsville and really well put on. It's really well done up. Great speakers. Yeah, it was a great day. So. Okay, so we'll move on. So I need a mover and a seconder. Councillor Purdy. That the minutes of our regular council meeting held March 18th, 2025 be adopted and published. All in favor? Great. I need a mover The seconder, Councillor Foot. Councillor Chalatenko. That we appoint Kirsty McGeehan Vandermeulen to the Township of Nipissing Recreation Committee. All in favor? Carried. And seconder. Councillor Scott. That we confirm the appointment of members to the Township of Nipissing Fire Department per the attached roster. All in favor? Mover and a seconder. Councillor Chalatenko. Councillor Foot. That the Council of the Township of Nipissing supports the Northern Highway Safety Plan presented by Guy Bourgeois and Lise Bourgeois and MPP John Van Hoff, and that the councillor requests province implement the immediate action of requiring all drivers to be tested by the MTO certified inspectors. All in favor? Need a mover and a seconder? That we donate $100 to the Powassan Maple Syrup Festival towards the 2025 event. All in favor? And the mover and the seconder. That we donate $100 to the Powassan Agriculture Society in support of the 2025 Powassan Fall Fair. All in favor? Carried. I need a mover and a seconder. Councillor Quirky. That we approve the spring 2025 newsletter for circulation as presented. All in favor?
You like the tips
And it's
and
well
reminders.
done. The
Yeah.
newsletter looks so
Really great.
nicely done.
it was a joint effort, if I may say, between Kristen and Jillian and Will and John Paul on that, so it's a certain
looks
staff.
good.
function,
Yeah,
so
thank you.
The budget discussion.
So now we're into our budget discussion. Everybody has their,
So the updated budget presentation was circulated and posted on the township website. For comments, there was none. So we did make the changes that were requested by council. General government, I believe that's page 3, council expenses, $5,000 was removed. And in the capital, which is further capital projects, the last page, we removed the 2 dry hydrants. One in the budget for $10,000. So as a result, that brings the levy increase to 4.66%, the tax rate increased to 3.95. That's a tax impact of $216,000 per $216,000 of assessment, $85.42. So a house that's assessed at $432,000 will see an increase of $170.84. If approved.
discussion.
I don't know, I can't see us, where we can squeeze any more out of it. And I was brutal on it, and I.
Get over it a few times. Did we find out about dry hydrants? Did you look into that?
We'll bring that forward at our next meeting. We'll be discussing fire operations. If you have any questions, we didn't gather any information.
Okay.
Okay, so if there are no
Everybody's
questions,
good?
then we do have a bylaw to pass the budget. As it's advertised.
So I need a mover. Councilor Bertie. Second by Councilor Scott. That we we passed bylaw number 2025-13, being a bylaw to adopt the estimates for all sums required for the year to provide the adoption of tax rates and to further provide for penalties, interest, and default of payment thereof for 2025. Read the first, second, and third time and passed on this 8th day of April, 2025. All in favor? Carries.
Only have to put the budget now. We can proceed with the cup order for the appreciation gifts. Can proceed with the cup
Everybody's
order.
good with that?
That fits well within the budget that was passed.
Yeah.
Also, members of council, I provided you with a draft a draft resolution that we will be placing after the next bylaw, which is for tax ratios going with the budget. We were able to secure a quote for the Stone Cutters Road Culvert project that we were having trouble finding. And we used the LAS Canoe Procurement Group, which is run through AMO, so it's a province-wide procurement group that represents a great deal of municipalities. So we got a budgeted quote well under what we thought. And the quote for the multi-plate culvert has come in at $192,373.50. We budgeted $400,000 for the project. Now there will be other expenses, but this was the biggest expense. So we would like council to pass this resolution tonight as it's through the procurement policy. That amount needs to come through council. Now that you've passed the budget, if we can proceed with ordering this culvert, that would be a really positive thing. So that will be after our next budget. There you go.
Need a mover and a seconder. Councilor Foot, Councilor Sutton. That we pass bylaw number 2025-14, being a bylaw to set tax ratios for the municipal purpose for the year 2025. Read this first, second, and third time and passed on the 8th day of April 2025. All in favor? Carried. And I need a mover and a seconder. Working. That we authorize the acceptance of LAS canoe procurement quote number 59226-24 for a multi-plate culvert for the Stone Cutters Road Culvert Project approved in the 2025 capital budget and operating budget. The total quote is $192,373.50 plus applicable taxes. All in favor? Okay.
Can I speak to this? Any idea when that will be?
I'm not sure.
construction will begin on that?
So Dan had provided everybody with a bit of a staff report, and in here he said that he's been working on finalizing the pricing, which is in this, and the size of the culvert. Realized that there was an error in the OSA report on the size of the culvert, so he's been working with the supplier, and he has,
With the site prep and.
yeah, he's on the site.
Okay.
The delivery on that, I can't believe they
That
didn't
price
deliver
is
it for that
amazing.
price. Like, that's
Yeah.
phenomenal. So it's 2 votes, so really reasonable.
It's a new procurement group that we've been working with, this LAS canoe. And but they have a lot of buying power because they represent a great deal of municipalities, which is great for us.
Reading somewhere, I think 138 municipalities or something. that they would have.
And it works for us for these large purchases because we don't have that buying power.
Okay, correspondence. Everybody has theirs ready. Ministry of Natural Resources 2025-2026 annual work schedule for Nipissing Forest. City of North Bay Council of the City of North Bay formally nominates Victor Fidelli for the 2025 Phenom Executive Award. Yeah, so they're asking for our support. Absolutely. Okay. so
Okay, that'll be on the
meeting.
next agenda.
Municipality of East Ferris, Council of the Municipality of East Ferris requesting support for declaration of sovereignty of Canada. So an information more or less that we all do that anyway, so
So, you know,
yes, yeah. The Golden Sunshine Municipal Nonprofit Housing Corporation Board meeting minutes held February 18th, 2025. Minutes of the East Nipissing North Perry Sound Vet Services Committee meeting held March 20th, 2025, which James just gave us our update on. The Trout Creek Agriculture Society requesting support in an upcoming 2025 fall fair to be held August 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. So we've always supported it. So next meeting. Yes. So I need a mover and a seconder. Councillor Tilley. Councillor Tilley. That we received the correspondence as presented, all in favor. Thanks, Shelley. Yeah. I need a mover and a seconder. Councillor Kirky, Councillor Scott. That the statement of accounts dated March 15th, 20th, 25th, 31st, and 3rd of April, 2025, totaling $517,688.45 will be approved. All in favor?
The school board remittances, they're collected separately and outside of our budget. We just remit them, so.
Yeah.
They're included in what we write out checks for. This included our 1/2 year for ambulance support, our DSAP quarter, East Home quarter, policing,
Quarter for MPAC. There's
and
like a
MPAC
quarter for
quarterly.
MPAC.
So there's quite a few that were due because March 31st is our tax due date. So those large bills come in and they're due March 31st. Makes sense. Yeah. Okay, can we call Shelley back in?
You said I'm not tall, but you're so beautiful.
So I need a mover and a seconder. Joe Pickle. Councillor Kirk. That we pass bylaw number 2025-15 being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council at its meeting held April 8th, 2025. Read this first, second, and third time and passed April the 8th, 2025. All in favor? Carried.
But before we adjourn, I'd just like to note that Fire Chief Bateman has circulated a staff report for the fire protection grant projects. They had a bit of an overrun of the funds, so they distributed it to everyone who got some money. And our portion is $361.73, which seems like a small amount, but we will gladly take it. It'll buy a few items. But we do need to follow the paperwork trail. So on the next agenda, we will have another resolution for us to sign the paper, etc. for the small amount, but if we didn't have the grant to begin with, we wouldn't get the extra, so it was a win.
Yeah, we just have to sign it before the next meeting. So
Yes,
that's why we just
so we
brought it.
wanted to,
Yeah.
We're a little ahead. but
we're gonna ask for forgiveness rather than.
Yeah,
Yes.
That was all.
so I'll sign that tomorrow and send you.
Well, it's a receipt, not an expense, so
That's right.
it's all good.
Thanks.
Oh, and in that package as well, we received the resolution from Powassan from their last meeting on April 1st, asking us to, formally requesting us to participate in the bridge studies. So what we are going to do is reach out to the engineer that prepared that package for us. And we're going to go through the list of studies that they've requested. Make sure that they have a shelf-stable life of a few years. We wouldn't want to be doing them and have them not viable when we finally do hopefully get funding. And we're going to see how long each of those studies will take, so we can set a timeline and then we'll get back to them. And that will come to council as soon as we have it.
We've agreed on an engineer we're working with.
We
Like,
both
we have
have the same engineer that does our bridge studies, and that's who prepared the presentation that went to the minister and has been working on all of the planning throughout, so that's who we're staying.
Awesome. Yeah, there won't be any issues there.
Yeah.
And we use the same one as Powassan.
Yeah.
So we had been with a different engineer, we went on with the same company as Powassan and other municipalities in the area to hopefully save some costs on travel and to keep everything in similar wording for those of us that share bridges.
Perfect.
I need a mover and a seconder. That's Foot. No people.
$6.57.
That the meeting be adjourned at 6:57 PM. Next regular meeting to be held April 29th, 2025. All in favor?